Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are back to work on the Camaro. I'm super excited to be back to work on it. My voice does sound a little bit weird right now because I am sick. Everybody's getting sick this time of year. But that's not going to stop me from making videos or working on this car because I love what I do. But guys, today what we're going to be doing is, now that all the mechanical stuff has been fixed on this car, we're going to be ready to go ahead and do all of the bodywork on this thing. I'm super excited. So basically what we have for bodywork, we have a few dents right here on the A-pillar here, and then we have a little dent that you could barely see right here. And then the door, it doesn't have many dents either, but it did get a little bit bent in the accident. It's been bent back, but it does have a few little scratches and a tiny dent right there. And then the rocker panel right here needs to get plastic welded up a little bit because it is also a little bit broken. And then some glazing putty right here because it did get a crease from when it got bent outwards in the accident. So we'll fix that up. And then after all that is done, we're going to get the fenders, we're going to get the hood, we're actually going to jam those and put them on the car. I'm super excited to see what this car is going to look like by the end of today's video. But let's just go ahead and get started with the bodywork on the door. So basically the way we're going to do the bodywork on the door is we're going to take the fender, we're going to put it on this side, and we're going to see how the gaps are looking. If the edge on the door needs to be bent back before we put body filler on it. And if it all looks good, then we'll just go ahead, we'll take the fender back off, and we'll start doing the bodywork. Alright guys, so that fender looks absolutely amazing on the car. I haven't seen it with the fender on and the wheel on it at the same time. And this car is really starting to take shape. It looks really good. And the gaps look really amazing too. The door does not need to be bent any further. Let me show you guys on what I mean by bend. I'll show you guys exactly what was bent. So right here where you see this blue tape, it's been here for a while. When we first got the car, this section right here of the door was actually bent out quite a bit from the old fender being crumbled up behind the door and then the passenger opening the door on it. That gap is amazing. It's not sticking out any further. And then down here, what you see, the little gap that's coming out there, that is actually just the fender. It needs to come out more when it gets screwed in, then just disappears. So it's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sand this area down right here. And all I need to do is just put a little bit of body filler here. And right here, there's a little bit of a dent. And I do not have to go any further down. This body line, everything is completely fine. I just have to stay in this area here. So not too much work. Let's go ahead and get this knocked out. Alright guys, check this out. So I went ahead and I got this door all done right here. This came out amazing. It's super smooth. You can't even feel that part of metal that used to be here. I went ahead and sanded that part down too, and now it's replaced by some body fill. And then obviously there's metal under that too. And then right here, there was another dent that I found while I was doing body work. It was actually chipped too. and it was missing some paint, so I went ahead and I sanded it down, put some glazing putty on that. It's nice and smooth. And then there was a little imperfection right here too, so I went ahead and I just sanded that down. It's also nice and smooth. So now we are done with the entire door. I'm super happy about that. That's 1 out of 3 panels knocked out. So let's go ahead. We're actually going to go ahead. We're going to move on and do this A-pillar next. Should be pretty easy. It might take a few coats of body filler to get this formed again. And then down here you could see the side skirt. You could see right about here there's a nice crease, which is why we're going to be doing some body fill here too, and the crease carries its way up to here, so it's like a diagonal crease. Pretty interesting, but let's just go ahead and move on to that A-pillar. Guys, I'm starting to get pretty good at this bodywork stuff. That Hellcat definitely gave me a lot of practice. But check this out, guys. This A-pillar looks absolutely amazing. I mean, you could see that crisp body line all the way from here. It got this body line on this car is extremely sharp, and I replicated that so well. It's so straight, so smooth. It came out so well. Can't even tell that there's ever a dent there. You can't feel a thing. Super happy about that. I'm super excited to get some primer laid down on this thing. And right over here, you might see a shade slightly different from this one. That's because after I sanded it, I laid down another layer in this area here to get some pinholes out of it. Basically what it took to get this one fixed was I had to lay some glazing putty, and then after I laid that, I sanded it, and then I laid some more because the dent was still there, but not as bad, but of course it was still there. So I sanded that smooth again, then it came out good, and then I added a little bit more right here to get the pinholes out. Sanded that smooth with the 180 and a 320, and now we have a perfect finish. I'm super happy about that. The door came out amazing as well, and right here too. The bodywork on the door and the pillar is fully complete now. I'm super happy about that. But now we have to figure out a way to get that side skirt off so we can plastic weld it. Hopefully without breaking a lot of clips. We'll probably break a few because it always happens, but hopefully we don't break any mounting points on it. It's gonna be very hard to get this off without breaking anything because you never really know. I really want to mock up the fender first to just see the fender flow with everything fixed on the car up there, and then we'll go ahead and take the side skirt off. So let's mock it up. Oh my goodness, guys, check this out. This looks amazing. The gap from the door to the fender from here looks amazing. Right here all the way throughout, it looks amazing. It's completely smooth. It looks amazing. Up here, it looks great. I can't believe how great that body line comes through. That is just amazing. And then of course the two little imperfections that were right there. But from all angles, guys, this looks amazing. I'm super happy the way it came out. I mean, just look at that gap. It looks absolutely perfect. And the rocker panel looks amazing too, but I want to make it look perfect. So you can see right there, it does have a crease right over there. It's actually very minor. You could hardly tell it's there, but I do want to take care of it because in certain lightings you do see it a lot more, but it's right here. And of course there's a crack right there too. So let's just go ahead and figure out how to get this off, because all I know is that this entire thing is on clips. There's not a single screw on this entire rocker panel. There's clips under it, there's clips behind it, and there's like 3 clips right over here. So let's just try to get this off, and hopefully it comes off in one piece and nothing breaks. Guys, so the side skirt is out. It was a little bit tricky, but it was also a little bit easy, but it was all on clips. So let me show you guys where the damage is and what it is that we're going to be repairing. So if you flip it a little bit in here, right there's a pretty good crack right there causing it to flap, and then there's a crack right here, and then there's a crease all the way down that. So we're going to repair those cracks with the plastic welder, and then we're going to do some glazing putty on that crease, and then this side skirt will be good to go. And then it needs some paint too just up here because of I'm assuming the fender probably hit it, or the wheel in the accident. But yeah guys, not too bad. This car is starting to look really good. So let's just go ahead and start the plastic welder and get this fixed up. Alright guys, so the side skirt is done. It doesn't flop around anymore. It's been plastic welded, and then I went over it with the glazing putty. I got rid of all those paint wrinkles. I sanded those down, and then I put some putty over it and got this looking nice and straight. No more creases. It's extremely smooth. There's a nice body line there too. Super happy about that, guys. We are now officially done with all of the body work. I'm super happy about that, but now the next step is going to be to prime all the body filler we put on the car. And then after that, we're ready to jam the fenders in the hood. We can put them on the car, and this thing's going to look amazing. So let's go ahead and get started with the primer. primed in. We are completely done with all the priming of all the panels, and it came out amazing. The bodywork came out amazing. Like, I'm super happy the way everything came out. Let me go ahead and show you guys. The A-pillar looks amazing. Alright guys, so here is the A-pillar. Was there any damage? I don't know. I can't tell. That looks absolutely amazing. That body line is so sharp. It's so straight. I'm just amazed. Like, that looks so amazing. And then right here on the door, there were some chips right here. So I went ahead and I sanded those out too, and I threw some primer on that. And then right there where the main bodywork was on the door, which wasn't that much, is also nice and fixed. That body line also looks amazing. And then the dent that used to be there and the imperfection that was there. And then right here we have the rocker panel. It's currently drying with the heat lamp. So super happy the way everything came out. Looks absolutely amazing. Now I gotta do two things. I gotta figure out how to keep this space warm so the paint cures correctly. And then once I figure that out, we can jam all the parts. So I'm super excited, guys. Let's go ahead. I think I'm just gonna have to buy a lot more of those heat lamps, but let's go ahead now. Just get to the next step. Basically, the next step is just gonna be wet sanding or scuffing the brackets and under the hood and everything to get it ready for paint. And then we're also gonna wet sand all the primer we just laid down. So let's go ahead and wet sand all of it, and then we'll be ready to start jamming all the parts. So let's do it. Alright guys, so everything has been wet sanded and scuffed. And you guys may have noticed that it left the A-pillar uncovered, as well as the side skirt over there. I also left that uncovered. And then obviously the hood and the fenders over here. The reason being is, while we're going to be jamming the fender and the hoods, I also want to get this A-pillar and that side skirt painted in. So after we put the hood and the fenders in the car, we don't have to worry about this A-pillar anymore. We can just paint the doors because we're going to be blending onto the doors, obviously. And then we'll just go from there. So I feel like getting those two out the way right now while we're jamming these would be the best solution. That way we don't have to worry about those. And then it also won't be taking up as much space because there's a giant side skirt over there taking up a lot of space right now. So let's just get all these things done, put them all in the car, and then when we do all the doors and walk around the car, we have enough room to move around and not be as cramped as we are now. But right now, we're just doing body panels and not even all of them. We're just doing the insides of them. So this way, it's a lot safer and a lot cleaner, and we won't be getting a lot of debris on the clear coat when we're painting the big panels. So basically, that is that. So let's go ahead, make sure the gun is clean, mix up some adhesion promoter, put some adhesion promoter on all these parts, and then we'll go ahead and lay the first layer of base. And then for the hood and the fenders, that'll be it for the base coat. And then the A-pillar and the side skirt, they get a bit of clear coat. So let's just go ahead and get this paint job done. Alright guys, everything's painted in and jammed in, and it is a lot harder to paint when it is very cold out because this is the first time I've actually tried it when it's like extremely cold out. I think it's like below 30 degrees right now, so it's really cold right now. But I have the 2 heaters pointing towards the parts that I've clear coated, because clear coat takes a lot longer to dry than the base coat does. Hopefully everything dries up well, because right now it looks really good. I'm freezing and I have a lot of paint on my hands, but it was definitely a challenge to paint. So far only 1 imperfection, so I'm super happy about that. It's on the hood, it's just a tiny little run. I got a lot of the runs out, but then more kept forming because it's just too cold for the paint to dry. But anyways, I got it all out. We're all good to go, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so it is the next day here. All the pieces had time to dry overnight, and these pieces look absolutely amazing. I'm super excited to put this car together. I'm super excited to see what it's gonna look like at the end of today's video. So let's just go ahead. We're gonna untape everything, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I wanna polish through this A-pillar section here, because what I like to do, if the damage was just in a little spot on the A-pillar or maybe even on the quarter panel, I don't like to repaint or re-clear coat the entire piece, because I like to keep the paint as OEM as possible. So in the past, all I've did is I've painted here just a little bit, and obviously some overspray gets misted along the edges. All you gotta do is you just color sand that through, and then you buff it all, and then it looks like it's all one piece, like can't even tell. So that's what I've been doing. It's been working out pretty well. So that's what we're gonna do now. So let's go ahead and untape this car, get everything polished, and then we can put the hood on and the hinges, because I did also paint the hinges. And then after that we put the fenders on, and this car is gonna look completely different. So let's go ahead and untarp everything. Alright guys, so the car is fully untarped, and while I was untarping it, I decided to go ahead and polish the A-pillar out while the tarp was still on it, so when the polish would fling around, it wouldn't get all over the car, instead it would get on the tarp. So take a look at this A-pillar, guys. It's completely smooth. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm super happy the way that A-pillar came out. It looks amazing. And I also went ahead and I polished out the side skirt here too, so that looks amazing too. So the next step is to take out these old hood hinges, put the new ones in, and then get the hood on, and then put the fenders on, and then this car's gonna look pretty sick. So let's just go ahead and get these hinges switched out. Alright guys, so check this out. Both hood hinges have been replaced. This is the old one right here. It's hard to tell to see if these things are actually damaged, but when the hood does get hit, it does mess up your gaps. So it is always a good thing to replace these. Even though they don't look bent, there's always something wrong with them. As you can see, like right here on this one, if I can open all of it, you can see right here it has some paint chipping. That's because it hit into another part during the accident. So that one is clearly bent in some way. But anyways, let me show you the new ones. So the paint laid down great on these ones. And I also went ahead and I put these little rubber stops down there. So it's OEM, because that's how it's supposed to be. These things work really nice and smooth. So I'm super happy about that. So one thing I really want to do now before we put the hood, fender, or anything on is I want to put the washer bottle on. And then we could cover that up with the fender. So let's go ahead and get that bottle and put it in. Alright guys, check this out. So I went ahead and I got the washer bottle in. It looks amazing. And I also went ahead and I had to salvage some parts from the old washer bottle. It's pretty crumbled up. But I got some harnesses off of it and some seals and stuff. And I put some washer fluid in this and it's not leaking at all, so we're good on that. So let's go ahead, put these hood struts on, put the hood on. This car's gonna look so different. And then we'll put the fenders on, so let's go ahead and do it. I can't believe this. Alright guys, I have no idea how I did it, but I was able to get this whole hood on just by myself. Pretty interesting. But it's on. It latched up nicely. It lined up with the latches first try, but it looks really cool. Alright, so check this out. This car finally has a hood on it. It looks so good. And you just have that beautiful 6.2 liter V8 peeking through the heat extractor vent. This is amazing, guys. This hood looks absolutely amazing. We are going to wrap this one. The hood won't be getting painted in the paint job because I really want to wrap this hood because that's what they come with for factory. I'll explain more on that later. But guys, this hood looks super sick. Let's go ahead and get these fenders on here. Get this whole car looking really good so it's ready for paint. So let's just pop this hood open for the first time. I've never in my life popped this hood open ever. Let's just go ahead and get this on camera, and then let's go ahead and start the time lapse and put the fenders on. Alright guys, so here's the update so far. This car is starting to look really, really good. Alright guys, so check this out. The gaps are on point. They look amazing. Everything looks super good. Everything lined up, everything screwed in. And look at this A-pillar. That is just amazing. The color sanding, the clear coat, everything went so well. It looks so good. And then this door, luckily, it was able to be saved. Can't wait to get this whole car painted. And then on the driver's side, I went ahead and I took off the side skirt or the rocker panel on this side so I can put the fender on it and then we can paint it without that rocker panel getting in the way. And check out this absolutely sick looking headlight. That is sick. Not a single halogen bulb in sight. It is all LEDs, all DRL. Like, it is crazy and it is so bright. That's just one of the lights. So super amazing car. I love it. I love the way the fitment is. I love the way this whole thing looks, even just like this. So this car is absolutely amazing. I can't believe how well the hood fitted up, because I know it's been we've had this car for 1 year and 7 months, almost coming up on 2 years. It's crazy we've had it this long, but that harness really slowed us down. But this fender, this whole corner right here was the most damaged spot on the entire car. If you look right here into the parts of damaged pieces on this car, this was the fender that was there, and it is absolutely crushed and folded in on itself. Like, that is just crazy. And there's the new fender, and the gaps look amazing. So it's crazy. Not even the wheel was on this car when we got it. None of the suspension was. Entire struts, control arms, rim, caliper, tire, everything had to get replaced. It's just unbelievable. But it looks really good now. Super happy about that. So let's just go ahead and get on the driver's side. The engine looks so cool peeking up under there. Let's go ahead and get this fender on, and then let's get those headlights on. And these headlights will probably come off when we're painting the car, but they look so sick on there right now. I couldn't resist. Let's go ahead and get the other fender on the other side. Alright guys, check this out. So the gaps are fully set right here on the driver's side. After I set it, the gaps on that side, this side kind of got a little bit messed up too because the hood is moving around. So I went ahead and I set the gaps on this side again. And then I put both headlights on. Just take a look at that thing. It's finally starting to look like a car. It looks super mean. Check this out. This is gonna look so sick. Check that out, guys. That looks absolutely crazy. This car is finally starting to come together. So let me go ahead and show you guys everything around the car, and then we'll wrap up today's video. So getting a closer look at all of these gaps, they look absolutely amazing. The A-pillar came out amazing. I'm super glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. Look at that body line. That's just amazing. And then the gap here, it all carries through so well to the door. This all looks good. The headlight fitment, everything, the hood, the way the hood closes, the way the hood is lined up directly and even with the engine. The gap on this side is also very amazing. The headlight fitment is good as well. And then right here to the A-pillar, to the door, it's all amazing. This car looks super sick. And then right here into the engine bay, I went ahead and installed that reservoir tank. That's where you fill the washer fluid from. So this is the filler neck. The reservoir tank is down under there, you can see it. And then the underside of the hood is fully painted. It looks amazing. This car definitely needs a very good wash, but I mean, look at it, guys. It looks amazing. And just coming onto the interior, this car's interior is so cool. I put a fire extinguisher in there too, just to add a little bit of spice, but it looks super good. It's a beautiful interior, beautiful exterior. I really love the way this car's coming out, and the paint match is very, very good. But that is going to be all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you guys are loving this Camaro build, be sure to go down below and hit that like button. While you're at it, there's a shiny red subscribe button that you should click. But that is all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, guys, because each and every video, this car is getting closer and closer to coming back onto the road. It had a pretty good accident with an F-150 out in Michigan. So it's pretty crazy, guys. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.